Coach Venables, on behalf of the Valero Alamo Bowl, we're thrilled to welcome the Sooners back to San Antonio and since 2021 in the victory over Oregon. Now I'll turn it over to you for your opening statement.
Well, thank you, Derek and Gary and Randy. As well, I'd like to reiterate what Coach Fish said. What an amazing venue this is, a fantastic bowl game experience, as good as there is in college football. I've been to San Antonio several times throughout the last 25 years. And obviously was here back in 1998 with the Wildcats. And so had firsthand experience as a young coach, the quality of a bowl game experience that y'all have put on. The San Antonio community is a community that's passionate and connected, supportive in every way. Been here to several events throughout the years. Certainly we came and competed in a Big 12 championship here against the University of Missouri back in 2007 as well. And then 2 years ago, seemed like it was last week, to watch Oklahoma and Oregon compete. You know, the atmosphere, the intensity, the passion, the support was, again, having been to several bowl games throughout the years, as good as that I've been around. I'd like to congratulate again Coach Fish and his staff, his football team. There's nobody in college football right now that's playing better football the last half of the season than the University of Arizona. 6-game win streak. It's hard to do. They've done it against really quality opponents. A lot of people that we've got great respect for, whether it's UCLA or it's your crosstown rival, or it's certainly what they were able to do to Utah just a few weeks ago, led by Fafita, redshirt freshman quarterback that was the player of the year in the conference. Receivers, you've got one over 700 yards and one 1,300 yards. The running backs averaging 7 yards a carry. Defensively, top 25 in scoring defense. And they've just done an amazing job efficiency-wise and building the team the right way. And so our players recognize that. They've got a good sneak peek at Arizona, again, in one of the best conferences in college football of this season. They placed third and had an opportunity. It was really a miracle. They didn't win another game or two. That came right down to the last play of the game. And so we got great respect, admiration. We're going to have to be well prepared. And this is a team that's going to be hungry, going to be focused. And again, as Coach said, they're looking forward to having an opportunity to match up against us and vice versa. This is, again, one that for us in building our program the right way, everything matters. And this is another opportunity for us to improve. We'll have an opportunity to play several guys, maybe making their first starts of the season in this game and to show our competitive depth. Great opportunity for us not only to finish the season the right way against another quality opponent, but also moving and transitioning into the SEC, an opportunity for us to continue to prepare and build our program.
Yes, I do. Thank you for taking my question. And Brent, congratulations and appreciate you doing this. First question is about Dillon Gabriel. What can you tell us about his plans? What can you tell us about your conversations with him? And is he going to be able to participate in the Alamo Bowl, or is that all strictly Jackson Arnold at this point?
That hasn't been finalized yet, so I'll comment on that when it's the appropriate time. But Dillon's been amazing. He's obviously played his best football this year. We wouldn't have put ourselves in this position and had the kind of success we did, certainly the turnaround that we did from year one to year two, without Dillon and all of his hard work, his leadership, his commitment. He made everybody around him better. So really, really thankful and proud of Dillon, and he's going to have whatever is next for him. I promise you, he's going to have his hands all over. It's going to be, a really successful transition for him.
Okay, let's go stay on the Zoom. Justin Spears, if you have a question for either coach.
Yeah, Justin Spears from the Arizona Daily Star. This one's for Coach Venables. Coach, for Arizona, one of their biggest turnarounds is on the defensive side of the ball. As a defensive coach, what stands out to you about what they're able to do there?
Well, they play with incredible passion and energy. I think number 5 leads the Pac-12 in tackles. He's just disruptive, always around the football. They play with great confidence. They know what they're doing. They're very well coached, fundamentally sound. You're going to have to earn everything that you get.
All right, back to the Zoom. Garen Enmig.
Hey, Brent, appreciate you taking time. I wanted to ask about the challenge of player retention this time of year with all the guys who either enter the portal or make decisions about their NFL futures. Does that make things difficult in terms of picking up where you left off from the gains you made defensively this year, especially?
I don't know if it makes things difficult. I think it gives guys opportunity. This is college football. You can't keep guys forever, and so sometimes the people on the outside look at change as a bad thing, and I look at it just as opportunity. And I think we've talked about since the Big 12 media day back in August, we've promoted the competitive depth that we have. That we've improved from where we were again a year ago at this time. So this is an opportunity for that to show and give guys an opportunity going into the 2024 season, experience and confidence and all of those things that they'll gain through 3 weeks of practices and an opportunity to compete again in a game.
All right, via Zoom again, George Stoia.
Hey, Brent, kind of going off that, what conversations have you maybe had with Danny? I know that it's been kind of reported out there that he let you guys know he's headed to the NFL. Have you had those conversations, and what was that like having that with somebody like Danny, who I know you're close with?
Yeah, everything has its time, and whenever Danny is prepared to let everybody know what his future is going to look like, out of respect for him, I'll reserve, comment, for that moment in time. But all that being said, Danny had an amazing year. As good of a leader as we have on our team, as good of a leader as I've been around. His passion, his love, his respect that he has for his teammates and his teammates have for him. Leadership is I've never looked at it as a position. I think it's about action. And he's represented everything that you would want from a leader. He's made everybody around him better. And there's not a player in our locker room that loves the University of Oklahoma and respects his opportunity and what this has meant for him in his life more than Danny Stman. So I got great thankfulness and appreciation for everything that Danny represents and what he's done to help us, the last 2 years.
Yeah, Brent, as you're on the road this time of year, there's recruiting, there's the portal, there's player retention. How much more of a challenge is bowl season now and knowing who you're going to be bringing with you?
It's all hard. I say this, all the time, but it's all good. And whatever challenges, and it does present many challenges, but whatever challenges it presents Oklahoma, it presents the same thing for everybody else in college football. And so I love a challenge. I'm a competitive person by nature, and we're all, for the most part, some people would probably beg to differ, but we play by the same rules. And in some ways right now, there are no rules. And I say that tongue in cheek, but it's a very hectic time, but I rely on our staff. We've got a wonderful support staff, a really connected, full-time staff. And again, there are several things that are going on right now with our current roster, just like everybody else's rosters, many things that you planned on. I think we've had a handful of players that are quote unquote in the portal, but we looked at them as seniors, as graduates, and as guys that weren't going to be a part of our program after this season. So the only thing that you don't know is whether or not they're going to try to go to the NFL or they're going to decide to maybe use that additional year of eligibility somewhere else. And so you do have to plan, make adjustments, if you will, and when it comes to your depth. And so that's a real thing. But other than that, I love putting puzzles, the pieces of the puzzle together. I've always really enjoyed that and trying to find great people. That's exciting to me I've got, amazing appreciation, thankfulness and respect for what it means to be the head football coach at the University of Oklahoma and the excellence that it's represented for over 100 years. And so every decision I make when it comes to our current roster, and potentially a new player that we're going to bring into our program. I know everybody's counting on me to make a right decision. And so I love that. I love relationships. I love finding great people that also align in the values and the respect and appreciation for all the great things that Oklahoma has to offer. So it's for the next month, it's kind of like Christmas every day. It really is. I say that. There's a lot of work that goes into it, as Coach Fish can attest to as well. And but it's a little less work than we had a year ago at this time. Not much. We'll probably end up signing, give or take, around 35 to 37, new scholarship players. A year ago, we signed 42 scholarship players we brought in January. So close to another transformation, similar, quite a bit less when it comes to the transfer portal. We'll look to, sign, give or take, around 27 high school players. So I think 20 of them will be mid-year. So that's really exciting for me. We'll have, give or take, around 28, 29 mid-year players when we start in January.
Yeah, Brent, can you help me sort of understand the Dylan departure? This appears to be a decision that was made even before the season started, a decision to move ahead with Jackson going forward. It's just sort of a unique situation. Can you shed some light on that?
Well, the only thing I would say, it didn't have anything to do with Jackson. I think Dylan had every intention to go to the NFL. In his mind, this was going to be his last season. He's going to have a great year, put himself in position to go, chase his dreams, in the NFL. And so, he's the best person to, to testify in regards to how he came to the decision to play another year, collegiately. But quite frankly, we did plan to, again, go into the 24 season without Dylan Gabriel. And Dylan, I think one of the things that he'll comment about is he went through something similar at UCF, with a quarterback there, and he knows the uniqueness of the situation. So, Dylan knows, certainly, he was more than welcome to stay and continue to compete and be, the quarterback at the University of Oklahoma. But that's just what, decision that he came to. And again, like I said, he would be the best, person to really go in more depth and detail about what all went into that.
All right, we'll go for the Zoom, Wildcats Radio.
Gentlemen, for both of you, David Kelly, Wildcats Radio 1290. What is your most vivid early memory from your childhood of a bowl game that made you fall in love with this time of year in college football?
I'm going to fast forward to my first bowl game experience. First time I was away from home for Christmas, and 1993 was in the Aloha Bowl at Kansas State, and I was a student assistant in Boston College. Coach Tom Coughlin, Mike Mamula, future first rounder for Boston College, and our team at Kansas State. I just remember as the first bowl game, being away from home for the first time at Christmas, and calling on a payphone. We didn't have cell phones, wanting to know what's going on back home. And but the enrichment that you get out of every bowl game. I've been fortunate to be in a bowl game every year since, and all the memories that you have from a player standpoint. Nothing means more, or nothing lasts longer, makes more of an imprint than winning the game. That's probably what you value the most in all those bowl games. And then now you fast forward now, and we're coaches and we're dads. It's funny to hear the fans have an interest in which bowl game we're going to go to. The players always have an incredibly vested interest in the bowl games, but the coaches' kids have the most vested interest in which play parks, what the hotel's going to, what the pool, what the weather. Do we have a beach? Is it Orlando? Is it San Antonio? Is it the Riverwalk? And so you get the thumbs up, the official approval from the coaches' kids.
Thank you, coaches. I think that's a great way to turn it over to Derek to close press conference.
Great. Thanks, Rick. And just want to thank both these coaches. Done a tremendous job with these programs and definitely trending in the right direction. You look at what they've both accomplished so far this year, kind of harken back to last year as a springboard, not only into the spring ball, but also next season is really important.